Hey guys, it is Christine. Welcome to another video from me. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I taught my son to read. So if you've never seen my face before, then you should know that I am mama to 3 little ones and we're just starting out homeschooling. So my son is turning 5 in March. We've been doing a little bit of pre-K stuff over the last few months, just kind of gentle schooling, and he's really enjoyed it. And we're not going hardcore this year, but we are getting a little bit more serious. And he is reading. I think it takes years to be reading fluently, but he's reading really, really well for a 4.5-year-old. And I thought it would be helpful to share with you the resources and the methods that I use to teach him how to read. This is coming from somebody who has never taught a child to read before, or who had never taught a child to read before. I was a little bit nervous about it. I was like, how the heck do I do this? I'm not a teacher, but I am a firm believer that parents are the best teachers in a lot of cases, and therefore I had the skills and knowledge that I would need to teach my child how to read. So I'm going to share with you what I used. I used 3 very simple and easy things to get your hands on. First of all, I used the book Teach Your Child How to Read in 100 Easy Lessons, and I actually recently published a video reviewing that book, so I will put that somewhere here for you to go ahead and watch if you're interested in it. I started out with that, and Jack would have been about 4.5 at the time when we started it, and he hated it. Like, hated it when we first started it. It was just dry, and he really struggled with the concepts, and it just wasn't working very well for him. And so we took a break. And what we did instead was The Good and the Beautiful Little Pre-K. So I got that. I got the PDF version for it. It was very affordable to print out. I've got a laminator at home. I've got an Epson EcoTank printer, which works brilliantly. I will link what I've got in the description below if you're looking for stuff. And the Pre-K course was very cheap. I want to say it was like maybe $10 for the book. And I just downloaded it, printed it out, and then I've got a binding machine that I use at home as well. And then I printed out the games activity pack that came with it, and that was just so much fun. We had so much fun going through that book, and I loved how gentle it was, and it used a lot of games, and it just went over the letters of the alphabet. It didn't really focus on reading, and this is where I think it's really important that you know this. Your child needs a very solid foundation in the letters and the most common sounds that they make before you start trying to get them to blend words. And take all the time in the world to get there first, because then reading becomes a lot easier for them after that. So we stopped any kind of like learning how to blend anything and make words. We just ignored that, and we did The Good and the Beautiful Level Pre-K. And that was a lovely introduction into the letters and the sounds they make and all the rest of it. But then what I did on top of that was I used the Reading Eggs app for my son. And this app is really affordable. I think it was like $12 a month, New Zealand dollars. It'll be less than that in US dollars. And he did like at least an hour of that every day. And not me sitting there saying, you need to do this an hour every day. No, he asked for it every day. He loved it. It's just full of games, and they don't realize how much they are learning. He learned so much from using that app. He got such a good foundation in all the letters of the alphabet and understanding them and knowing the sounds that they made, and then blending. Like, it worked onto like blending sounds together, just short things like the word it and at and things like that, and it started moving into word families. So that's an app I do recommend. It spans quite a decent age gap. I think they've got like a preschooler one, which is just purely games really, and then it's got Reading Eggs and Reading Express, which is for the older groups. So and they've also got a maths portion as well. It is worthwhile for sure. They might have a trial period, I can't actually remember, but it is worth the money if you want your child to really love it. And because Jack had really not enjoyed the other book, the Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons, I wanted something really fun for him and engaging, and this just absolutely met those needs. So we did that for quite a while, and I felt like he was doing really well with it, and so I decided to bring back in the Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. And he was ready for it then, and he did really, really well, and he started blending words and reading sentences, and before we knew it, he was reading, essentially. And I would do that book with him every evening before bed, 4 days a week. and it just worked really well for him. The other thing I did was I got some flashcards, just the alphabet flashcards, and I just did like 7 to 10 at a time. And once he had mastered the letter and the sound it made, then we'd move on to another 7 to 10. And I did both upper and lowercase. And all of those things in conjunction worked really well to get him to a place where he was able to start reading. And now we've kind of dropped off Teach Your Child to Read in 100 Easy Lessons. We got up to lesson 66, I want to say. And he's on to the Good and the Beautiful kindergarten language arts program now, and that is teaching him to read through there. So I just felt like it was a bit overkill to do anything more, and he hasn't been doing reading eggs either. So he's kind of not outgrown them, but he just doesn't really need them anymore, and I didn't want to overload him with resources. So that's what we've been doing. Yeah, so that's how I taught him how to read, someone who has never done it before, and I was a little bit nervous about it, but it worked really well, and I've so enjoyed the process of it. It's been so exciting to see him learn and grow, and it's just been great for his self-confidence as well to see what he's capable of. He, as a firstborn, is always very cautious about trying new things. He hates to fail, and so it meant a lot that he could do something and succeed at it and grow and just build upon it. So I will link all the resources that I can in the description below so you can check them out. I've got also a review of the Good and the Beautiful level PreK, which I will put in the cards here for you. And I think I might even have a blog post on it on my blog. Maybe I'll put it in the description. Anyway, anything that I can link, I'll link for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the sun will spread your joy to the ones who lost their hope.